All right, what's up, guys and girls? How's it going? I am Is There No One Else? It's been a while since I've talked to all you fine folks on the YouTube. We have the 5.0.3 patch notes. I'm just going to segue into that awful introduction and go right into patch notes, so let's pretend like it never happened. Like you guys always know, I always try to do every week of the patch notes if I think it's interesting. I already saw something that I think is really interesting, and I figured we should talk about it. So yeah, let's dive into it. Table of contents or Cinnamon Celebration event. Art and animation, combat and gameplay. Necromancer, Bone Tyrant. Bone Armor, fix an issue where the model of this ability would clip through your camera under certain circumstances while in first person view. Oh, good. All those players playing in first person are really, really excited about that. Living Death, Spirit Mender, fix an issue where you'd be immune to stuns while this ability was active. Yes, this is what I was talking about before in my dueling Stam Necro video. So, yeah, good. Dragons, dragon combat abilities. None of us are dragons, sadly, so we don't have to worry about that. Dungeons and group content, housing, dungeons and group content, combat and abilities. All right. General, casting a fear on an enemy while they are midair will no longer cause them to appear to float. Note this is purely a visual error on remote client screens. They were not, in fact, instilled with so much terror they forgot to gravity. Okay. Dragon Knight Standard. The rock textures now better align with the broken ground textures from these abilities. Increase the duration of this ability in the standard morph to 16 seconds at all ranks. What's the current duration? I'll have to go look at this. I can't remember. I can't remember what the current duration of standard is. Dragon Knight Standard will now rank up 1.1% damage per rank. Fix an issue where these abilities were being considered direct damage rather than damage over time. Good. Shifting standard. Fix an issue where this ability was being removed before doing its final damage tick. All right. Nightblade. Incapacitating Strike. This morph no longer applies minor mangle or stuns the target cast when target casts with 120 or more ultimate. Instead, it now silences the target for 3 seconds when cast with 120 or more ultimate. Additionally, while slotted, it now grants Reeve, which restores up to 100 magic and stamina when dealing damage with a light attack or heavy attack on a target with a negative effect active on them. After collecting much feedback from forum threads and other outlets, we noted a lot of feedback on how Mangle's operation was far too niche in terms of engagement due to how the debuff works. While the theme was aimed at helping Nightblade single out an opponent and put them closer to death's door, we missed the mark in delivery. We wanted to retain the idea of Nightblade isolating the target and gaining a few precious seconds of denial on the target's abilities to recuperate, but we wanted the defender to at least be able to reposition while those seconds count down. So we have removed the stun in place of a silence. Additionally, much like Soul Harvest, there is a passive gained for slotting the ability. However, this passive effect makes up a much smaller portion of the ability's power since silences are such powerful disabling tools. This is fucking ridiculous. Like, this is absolutely ridiculous. Like, Minor Mangle, it was free DPS, and so getting rid of the Defile, like, it doesn't have the Defile anymore. So they got rid of the Defile, and now it just provided Mangle, so it was more burst. And so it was like, for Nightblades, most people that saw this, they're like, okay, well, I'd rather have the extra burst over that Defile. Anyways, now it's a silence. Like, Incap is already like, I'm not saying this should just disappear. Like, obviously, like, it needs something, but they're missing the mark with what this something is, in my opinion. A 3-second silence for a Nightblade is ridiculous. So a silence is like negate. So any magic ability, you will not be able to cast for 3 seconds. And so if you time your incap properly on a Nightblade, and you knock somebody down to low health like a Magplar, they're silenced for 3 seconds. Sorks are silenced for 3 seconds. Wardens are silenced. Like, this is an incredibly powerful ability on an ultimate that is cheap. 120 ultimate is pretty easy to get on Nightblades and Wardens. Nightblades have the potion passive. Like, as a guy that plays Nightblade a lot, this makes Nightblades very powerful. I would rather see them go back to the mangle. Because like 3 seconds of silence it's a long time. 3 seconds of silence is like a Magplar unable to hit Breath of Life is a long ass time. It's not saying that there's a cooldown. So if you run with a buddy that's a Nightblade, you guys can stagger your ultimate, your in caps, and you could potentially silence the same person in a group for like 6 seconds. You know, so if you're dealing with those pesky healers, I mean, don't get me wrong, like I do think that healing needs to be adjusted in this game. Like there are tanky healers that are really, really hard to kill, but providing bullshit mechanics is not the way to do it. And I think this is ridiculous. So I would like to see this go back to the mangle. I'd rather see it go back to the mangle and the stun. I think that makes more sense. But yeah, like this is nothing but a buff for Nightblades. Nothing but a buff. Shadow Dark Cloak fixed an issue where the minor protection granted from this ability was additive rather than multiplicative. This ability will now heal for 6% of your maximum health per tick rather than 4.5. Okay, so minor buff to Dark Cloak, which is nice for those of you using Dark Cloak. Dual Wield, Rend fixed an issue where this ability and its morphs were not updating their hitboxes when fighting dragons. Okay, they should fix an issue where this ability and its morphs were not updating their hitboxes when fighting people too. I mean, this is a nice ultimate, but it misses so much, and that's a problem in PvP. Medium Armor, Windwalker, fixed an issue where this passive was applying its cost reduction to Pummeling Goliath's special bash attack. All right. Sigic Order, Race Against Time. This ability no longer becomes cheaper as it ranks up. Reduced the snare and immobilization immunity to 1 second from 4 seconds. Why? Why? This immunity's duration now increases as the ability ranks up to a maximum of 2 seconds. No. Like, you made it more expensive and then you cut the duration in half. Like, 4 seconds was good. Like, if you wanted to nerf it, just keep it at 4 seconds and increase the cost a little bit. Since Accelerate is already such a powerful ability, granting both damage and mobility potential at reduced costs, we wanted to ensure other abilities that grant similar functions of snare or mobilization immunity still had a place in builds. This is also seen with a protective plate ability, which already grants an incredible powerful base function, so the standard 4 seconds duration is halved. I mean, yeah, but this is what I don't understand. We all know that being unable to move is fucking bullshit. Like, we all know. The developers know. Like, everybody knows that not being able to move fucking sucks. Everybody knows it. They know it. They're working to improve it. And they're working to improve it in slow and steady increments. Why not just give us 4 seconds of snare immunity and immobilization immunity? What is it hurting? Like, seriously, this isn't like the cheapest ability in the world. It just doesn't make any sense. Like you're just creating a thing where you have to spam a skill over and over and again to get out of something. And you already increased the speed on gap closers. You nerfed the top end speed of what people can do from a few patches ago, so people aren't flying around and they're a little bit easier to target. And now there's no snare built in, so you should be able to land gap closers more successfully. So because of all these things happening, why can't we go back to 4 seconds of snare immunity? Like, why couldn't we try it for 1 week of patch notes? Like, 1 week, let's just go, hey, forward momentum, race against time, shuffle. You all get double the snare immunity that you currently do. Like, what? How is that going to hurt anybody to just try it and see what it is? Like, what is the goal to just lock fucking people down? Like, why? It's not fun. Nobody likes it. You already know that nobody likes it and you're looking to fix it, and then you do shit like this. It's bullshit. It's absolutely bullshit. So I'd like to see this go back to 4 seconds. Obviously, this is a very loaded skill. Race against time with a 4 second duration. Even if it's 2 seconds, like they said, you get expedition, you get minor force, and you get the immobilization to snares. But it's also behind a paywall, and it takes forever to get, and it's not super cheap. And so if you're already nerfing it by increasing the cost, then keep it as it is. You know, give us 4 seconds so that we can use it And then if we have to cast it again, then it's still more expensive. Like, don't do both to us. Whatever. That's it. So anyways, big buff for Nightblades. I do not see this making it to live. Like, I would be very, very surprised if this made it to live. Like, a Nightblade combination, like this is very, very powerful. There's so many different ways you can utilize this. 3 seconds is a long time. Obviously, it doesn't really impact stamina builds, but, you know, it's not the stamina builds that Nightblades are having a hard time killing. You know, it's the same builds that everybody's having a hard time killing. It's the tanky Magplars, it's the Pet Sorks, it's all this stuff. If you can't cast a heal or a ward for 3 seconds against a Nightblade, boy, oh boy. Yeah. So that's it. Wanted to get you guys' opinions. Obviously, the minor mangle impacts that. I was going to post a video with my snipe build since people were requesting it. I have to look things over since the minor mangle was actually like it offset the snipe debuffs. And so now because it doesn't do that, I have to look over everything and see, you know, how effective it's actually going to be in the Elsewhere patch. I'm not going to post something that, you know, may not be useful next patch. So I'm going to look things over, and then if I still think it could be useful, I'll post it. But that's it for the video, guys. Want to get your guys' opinion. As always, please comment in the section below. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.